So as a comedian, this is the situation. As a comedian, what happens is eventually you have to do other jobs because as a comedian, we don't make enough a lot of times to make ends meet. So, you know, like in the States, you know, maybe you do a TV special and then you move on to like to HBO, or like maybe you get a job on NBC. In Canada, you end up trying to find a day job and work with a bunch of homeless people. So that's the big difference. And I was at a time in my life where it was like summertime. It was 2 summers ago, and there was this place called Grapes. Thanks, my baby. Yeah. Have you ever heard of a couple? Have you ever heard of Grapes? Have you heard of it? Okay, it's not that far from high school. It's a place where you go. It's like a little place, not that little, but maybe the size of this place actually. And you go in there. You go if you want to make wine. You go in there to buy like a cart of grapes, of any kind of grapes, red grapes or white grapes, and you buy these grapes. And then you might want 10 of them, and you take them home, you squish them, and you make your fucking wine. Well, I showed up at this place because I saw they were hiring, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for a job. I heard they're hiring. And the guy goes, yeah, you can start tomorrow. I'm like, really? Like that, like, I'm like, you don't even have my fucking name, nothing. He's like, there's nothing, you know, there was no paperwork. He's like, you can start tomorrow. I'm like, all right, I'll start tomorrow. I'm like, this is what I wanted. I don't want to fucking think about things. I just want to start working. Let's fucking do this. So I show up the next day, and that I realized what the job was is basically like you go, I want 10 Grenache grapes or something, 10 cartons. And then my boss will look at me, he goes, okay, you give him 10 Grenache, and I put him on these fucking skid, and I bring it to your car, and I put him in your fucking trunk, and you fucking pay it, and you take off, and that's the job. I'm fucking lugging grapes around all over the place, to the point where it's like, then there's like, you might come in, you don't want to squish the grapes. You don't want to squish them, right? So there's a machine there that we put it through, and it squishes it for you, and then we put it in pails, and we put the pails in your fucking car. There's all these fucking options you can do. And after after 2 days, people were like, it's fucking hilarious, because I didn't realize at first that everybody was like first like, why does everybody smell so bad, right? Like I'm working with, and then I talked to this one guy. I said this one guy, I was like, fuck, I think that guy's homeless or something, right? And the guy goes, he is. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like he's homeless. What do you mean he's homeless? Like, because grapes, they pay you $8 an hour. $8 an hour, and you get paid on the day. So you might be a homeless person, and they'll sleep in front of grapes till it opens, and they'll just go, okay, we're ready to work, and they'll work all day, and then as soon as they got enough for a fucking 2-4, they fuck off. That's fucking what's happening at this fucking place. So I'm actually working with homeless people, crackheads, heroin addicts, all these, the fucking lowest of the low I'm working with, and I'm like, within 2 days, everybody's like, the one guy's like, hey buddy, you learn fast. I learned every machine in the place in 2 days. And everyone's like, wow, I was like, you're the foreman, you know? Like, I didn't, like, and it was just like, and it was just hilarious that I was just surrounded by all this fucking chaos and misery, like just fucking idiots all around me. And no, I couldn't tell. It's like I couldn't tell anybody I was a comedian. That I'm actually. By the way, on the weekends I fucking do stand up. It's like, oh really? Well, put more of those grapes in the fucking trunk there, asshole. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell anybody what I really do. And like there's guys like would be like, I'd be like, because I wasn't living below the poverty line. I just needed fucking money. And these guys are all spending all their fucking money on fucking drugs or beer. And then the next day they'd come back to work and all strung out. And one guy walks up to me and goes, hey, you got a quarter? He walks up to me like this, like he's gonna roll me for a fucking quarter. He's got a quarter, I need a quarter for a fucking coffee. It's like, or no, you got some change for a coffee. It's like, no, I go, no man, I don't got no change, right? He goes, you don't got no change? I'm like, dude, you don't have any change. Right? That's what I say to him, and he goes like this, I swear to God, he goes, huh. Like I blew his fucking mind, he couldn't believe, like, yeah, that's right, wait a minute, I don't have any change. So it was like constantly like just fucking misery. I'm surrounded by all this misery. So at some point I just started to just fuck with people. Like I just started being like a little bit of an idiot because who cares? I got protein in me. These people are ready to die. I feel safe, you know? And they go, this one guy, I forget his name. There's this one guy. He was like, he worked one of the bigger machines that broke the grapes right into like liquid, so you could just get right to the fucking process of just making it, putting it in the barrel. He worked that machine, right? He's a big machine, and he goes, he was a fucking fuck up though, right? But he could work this one machine, and I said to the boss like, hey, I'll drive him to work every day if you want. And he's like, okay, so I could get more hours. So as long as I got this fucking guy to work, I could always get more hours. As I knew that he had a problem getting to work because he was a fucking ex-crackhead alcoholic, and he lived on Barn Street. So I'm trying to pick this guy up. I'm picking up this guy on Barn Street like every day, like at 7 in the morning, like 6:30, 7 in the morning. I have to pick this fucking guy. And this is the worst part. Like if it was like, okay, I'll be there at 7, okay, dude? He's like, yeah, all right. I show up at 7 out the corner right on Barn Street and I wait for him. And no one stops at Barn Street at 7 in the fucking morning. That's the problem. That's my first problem. I'm trying to get to work. I stop. He's never on time because he's an alcoholic, right? So I stop. And I'm waiting like 10, 15 minutes for this fucking guy to still wake up. He doesn't got a cell phone. I can't text him. I'm just sitting there and fucking hookers are swarming into my car. Because like, oh my God, there's a customer. No one stops at 7 a.m. in the morning at fucking Barn Street. So hookers would come and every day I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I don't need it. No, I'm sorry, I don't want a blowjob. I'm sorry. So I got so sick of tired of fucking like trying to explain to these hookers that I don't want fucking head that I would fucking go, I just see hookers come towards me, I drive away and I go around the block. I go around the block and I stop. I stop as soon as I see the hookers again. I go around the block again. I see the hookers and I go around the block again. I'm going around the block 6 fucking times. I'm fucking like I'm dodging hookers just to get the fucking work. That's where I am at my life. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, Ed, just say, how did you start your day? I'm running away from hookers, and then I put this crackhead, and then I went to fucking move grapes around. That's how I started my life. You know, like, this is what's going on in my fucking life. So I get this guy, he's in my car, he's in my seat here, and I'm driving him, and this is what this guy's like. He's an alcoholic now, he's an ex-crackhead, he's robbed 2 banks. That's what I know about this guy. Like, this is like perfect person. And like, it's been 5 days of driving him to work, and over the 5 days I bought 5 coffees. This is the relationship. It's like, you gonna buy me a coffee today? Like I'm like an abusive housewife. I'm like, yes, I'll buy you a coffee, right? Like so he's like there, and like I'm driving him one day, this happened, I swear to God, it was the next day, he's in my car, and something happened the night before, and I was like, I was just tired, and he gets in my car, and I do this, and it just came to my head as he asked me the question, I go like this, I go, I'm just tired though, he goes, hey man, like I guess he thinks we're friends now, he's like, bought him 5 coffees, and, hey man, because what's wrong? Something wrong? I'm like, you don't want to hear about it. No, it's like, tell me, what's wrong? I go, I guess you haven't heard. He goes, what? Patrick Swayze died last night. That's what I say to him, right? And he goes like this. I swear to God, he looks at me and he goes like this. He goes, I don't give a fuck about Patrick Swayze. Are you fucking kidding me? Patrick Swayze can go fuck himself. Wait, is Patrick Swayze paying for my fucking dental bills? Fuck you! Like, this is like 7 in the morning, and I'm fucking dying inside. I'm like crying. I'm like, this is the best thing in my life. And he's actually upset that he thinks I give a fuck about Patrick Swayze, right? So I go to work. I go to work with him. He's all steamy mad. There's only 3 people there in the morning because it's dead at the morning. It's like me, him, and there's 3 other dudes. He walks right up to them. He's like, hey. They go, you know what this fucking guy says to me? You know what this fucking guy says to me at 7 in the fucking morning? He says that he's upset about Patrick fucking Swayze. I told him that I don't give a fuck about Patrick Swayze. He's yelling the words Patrick Swayze at 7 in the morning, right? So after that day, I decided to do nothing but talk about Patrick Swayze for like 3 days. In front of like 30 dudes that are all fucking strung out on drugs. That's what I do for the next 3 days. All I do at the grape factory, moving grapes, all I do is like, I go like that first day, I go, okay guys, listen, 3 o'clock, everybody, 3 o'clock, truth circle. We got that? Truth circle. This guy goes, what's a truth circle? I go, okay, truth circle, 3 o'clock, we're all gonna hold hands in a circle. We're all tell our favorite part of a movie and of Patrick Swayze. That's what we're gonna do. I go, me, I go, me? I like Dirty Dancing. I like to pretend. I like that scene where Patrick Swayze's holding the girl over her head in the river, but I like to pretend that it's me that he's holding, and he slowly lowers me into his mouth. And this one guy, different guy, I swear to God, like this, he goes like this. I swear to God, he goes like this. He goes, you're different, buddy. You're different. And he walks away from me. He just walks away from me all mad, right? And then the best part, it was like everybody, there was this one guy, it was like everybody was mad. He was like day 2, I show up to work, I buy People magazine, everybody's smoking. That's all everybody does. I walk out into the smoking area with my People magazine with Patrick Swayze on the cover, just like this. Right? And then this one crackhead, this younger crackhead, and he was awesome, but he got it. He knew I was just like fucking with everybody, and he was standing here, and we were working with this other dude. His last name Perry, I remember his last name was Perry, and he goes, hey, I go, what? He goes, go talk about Patrick Swayze. Because he knew what I was doing. He's like, he loved it. He's like, talk about Patrick Swayze. Just talk about Patrick Swayze. He's whispering in my ear, this crack, talk about Patrick Swayze. Just talk about Patrick Swayze. I'm like, okay. I go, ask me what I'm doing tonight. He goes, okay. He goes, hey man, what are you doing tonight? And I go, I don't know, there's a memorial tonight at Jackson Square for Patrick Swayze, like a candle thing, I think I might go. And this guy's working this machine, this guy's working this big machine, he goes like this, he goes, hey, what the fuck is it with you and Patrick Swayze? Hey, all day with the Swayze, every day with the fucking Swayze, enough with the Swayze, you fucking love with the guy! I don't even know where else to go with it. I don't know what else to tell you about that fucking place. Then, so I don't work there anymore. But I did enjoy that week. Whenever I think about Patrick Swayze, actually his death brings me a little joy in a weird way. And I really do thank him for that. And I thank you guys for laughing at my jokes. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Have a good night.